Hey everyone, this is Dylan, and today I'll be doing a movie review for you guys. So the movie I'm reviewing today is Black as Night. Welcome to the second video in day 4 of the 31 Days of Halloween. If you're unfamiliar, Black as Night is one of the new movies in the Welcome to Blumhouse series on Amazon Prime. It is where Blumhouse has produced 4 movies for Amazon Prime, and they are all revolve around like a certain topic or whatever, and it's like the house, a family type situation based off of Bingo Hell, which is the other film that was released with this one, and Black as Night. I think that the theme for this year's movies are going to be revolving around the community, because there's very strong community influences in each of these movies. But let's get right into what Black as Night is about. So we're following Shauna, who is a teenager who is living in New Orleans, and she's just trying to get by and kind of keep her head down. She has a little bit of a rough family life. She lives with her dad and her brother. Mom lives in a housing project called the Umbro, and she also is into drugs. And so she's trying to take care of her mom and go to school and kind of flirt with this guy. And she goes to a party with her friend Pedro, and what happens is she decides to walk home alone at night, and she encounters these people in the road who look like they're attacking this man. And she's like, hey, leave that guy alone. And next thing you know, there is a large guy behind her, and he bites her neck. And this is where we realize that there are vampires in New Orleans, and she has just been bit by a vampire. She doesn't know what's going on and doesn't know if she's going to turn into a vampire or not. She enlists the help of her friend Pedro, and Pedro tries to help her figure out what's going on. They decide that they're going to go to a vampire YA, a book club that's hosted in this like abandoned church, and they meet the like leader of this book club and ask her a bunch of questions, and they realize that Shauna's not going to turn into a vampire because she didn't die during the initial bite. That's one of the key things in the vampire world, that you have to die before you turn into a vampire. So she goes to see her mother and realizes that her mother has been bit by the vampire. And her mother ends up dying due to this bite. She ends up catching on fire and turning to dust. And she vows that she is going to seek revenge for her mother and try to figure out who turned her mother into a vampire. And so she enlists the help of Pedro and the guy that she likes and the girl from the vampire book club. And that's where I'm going to leave the synopsis. As with Bingo Hell, Black as Night also deals with a little bit of the gentrification of New Orleans and also the African American experience in New Orleans. And this idea that New Orleans has started becoming more white and less African American, and that's the whole idea of gentrification. And part of this, and it's explained in the movie, has to do with the Hurricane Katrina, and how Hurricane Katrina really changed the dynamic of New Orleans and really affected the African American population there. It's one of the things in the movie that they mention has really affected Shauna's mother is Hurricane Katrina and the traumatic events of that, and she kind of uses drugs to kind of help her forget about stuff like that. So it's all very interesting and all super interconnected. But with that being said, this movie is very shallow in its approach to those subjects. It's also very shallow in its approach to the vampire genre. I feel like I was watching this movie, and the one thing that I kept thinking was, I feel like something is missing. And it's because there wasn't a whole lot of depth in this movie. It was just it was all very surface level and all very typical and generic. It is a bit unoriginal as well. I think that it doesn't really tread any new ground when it comes to vampire movies, other than the fact that they've taken a vampire story and they've added it into New Orleans and had African American characters, which I do think is a really good thing. I mean, I can't think of any really like serious horror movies take such a diverse approach to this vampire genre, which there probably are quite a few. I think maybe Vampires in Brooklyn. I haven't seen that. There's also a lot of diversity in this movie, so I do like that. We have an LGBTQ plus character in Pedro. He's also Latino, so there's a lot of diverse people and diverse ideas in this, but I just overall think that I've seen a lot of the things that happen in this movie done better in other places, and that's a little bit unfortunate. I really wish that this could have been a better movie so that its messaging and everything revolved around it actually is looked at as a positive thing rather than it being a bit shallow. So my rating for this movie is a 2 out of 5 stars. I thought that it was okay. It was definitely watchable. It looked really nice. The problem really was that it was just a little too shallow and a little too unoriginal. I would have liked to see them tread a little bit of new ground or have some like new and interesting ideas to add to the vampire genre, and unfortunately they just didn't do that. But that is it for this review. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know if you've watched Blackest Night in the comments down below, and whether you liked it or you didn't like it, and why. And remember, if you're not already subscribed and you'd like to be, please hit that subscribe button down below, and give this video a like if you liked it. Thank you guys for watching, and have a great day. Bye.